Hey fellow garage golfers, Roland here with Garage Golf, where we provide extraordinary golf info for the extraordinary golfer. It's that time of the year again where we're thinking about what to get the golf lover of our family the ultimate gift. And I think I got the perfect thing for you guys. We're talking about the HackMotion. I'm going to show you a little bit about my favorite features and why this may be the best product out there this holiday season to give as a gift to the ones that you love. So let's talk real quickly about what the HackMotion actually is. And as you see here, it's actually a sensor that's going to go on your wrist and attach to your golf glove, and that's going to give you data on your golf swing in regards to what you're doing with your wrist throughout the actual swing. So their whole theory with the HackMotion is what your wrist will do. Obviously your swing will follow, your ball flight will be affected. So we're trying to get our wrist in the prime zone that we wanted to have it for our golf swings and give us that right setup so we can hit the golf ball straighter and further. So I'm going to go into some of my favorite features, and I've done a full review of the HackMotion previously on our YouTube channel, Garage Golf. Make sure you check that out if you haven't seen the full review. But today what I'm going to do is a brief video on some of my favorite features of the HackMotion. Let's go ahead and dive into that right now. Let's go ahead and establish a baseline for you on how the HackMotion essentially works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a shot. Now you will see a launch monitor up behind me. I'm actually going to dive into that a bit more with how you can use a HackMotion along with a launch monitor to not only get your wrist data, but also see your ball flight. And that's a really cool feature as well. So it does integrate well with any golf launch monitor out there also, which is a really nice feature. I'm going to take a shot. It's going to show you a baseline. And then we're going to walk you through some of the drills and some of the different things that you could actually use with this HackMotion. And that all helps you work on your golf game and get yourself better at the game of golf. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is address the golf ball. And keep in mind, I'm a mid-handicap golfer. So I'm about an 18 handicap. I've been working on my game recently though. All right, so I'm gonna take a swing and we're gonna see what we have in regards to the data. All right, so I hit that pretty thin there. And what we're gonna see here on the monitor, which I'll show you, is it's going to show you at address where my wrist was. This is my lead wrist, which is in my case, I'm a right-handed golfer. This is my left wrist. And what we're going to see is that I'm plus 27 at address, and you're going to want to be within range in regards to where you're at impact and where you're at your top location, which is at the top of your backswing. So as you see here, at impact, I was plus 10, which is in the range. So I got a check mark for that. But I was too far extended in regards to my backswing at plus 9. So I'm going to take one more shot and see if we can work on that a bit to get that in range as well and see what we do with the numbers here also. All right, so now I took a shot. I'm still a little too far extended. I worked on that a bit, but at impact I was a plus 9. So again, as you can see, you're going to be able to see where you're at, not only at address, but where you're at in the top of your backswing, as well as where you're at impact. And this is something that you can work on repetitively to get it within the range that you need to be. And there's also some really cool drills that are going to be out there to help you work on these features as well. Now let's say in this particular case, since I am too far extended at the top of my backswing, we're going to see that it says top to extended, and we can click on start here. So if I were to click on start here, it says it's too far extended, overextension at the top, opens the club face and makes it difficult to consistently square it at impact. So if I were to hit start here, I'm going to see that my target range is plus 11 to plus 26. My result was plus 30, which is plus 4 to extended. So I wasn't in the proper range there. It also would show me versus a pro. If I click on that, you're going to see what my position was, and you're going to see what a target position is. So you see my wrist had too much bow in it in regards to my swing. So that's a really cool thing to be able to see visually and work on your golf game as well. There is also the ability to add audio feedback to your swing. So when you're working on your swing and you're doing drills, it's going to give you feedback as to where you're at in regards to your wrist location. So that's a really cool feature. And I did go into that a bit on my review, so make sure you check that out again as well. Now in the case of impact, my target range was minus 9 degrees to plus 6 degrees. In this particular shot, I was plus 15 degrees. It's going to also show me versus a pro. So you're gonna see that I did not have enough wrist actual lean at address or in regards to my target when I made contact. So you see that I had my wrist bowed the wrong way there a little bit, and I needed to keep that more straight at impact. So it's definitely something that I also need to work on with my golf game. And now again, if we look at my top of my swing here, and I have an issue in regards to what I have a problem with on a regular basis, you can also click on the How to Fix button. And this is actually going to show you, in this case, what they call a motorcycle drill. And it will show you a video on how to fix it.
Really cup their wrist at the top of the swing. So I find that helping them feel the wrist position up at the top, being closer to neutral, makes it easier for them to start that motorcycle movement on the way down.
And there you see, it's going to give you videos on how to fix some of these features as well, which I just think is a phenomenal device, a phenomenal product in which you're going to learn what to do with your wrist, how to fix it, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and everything in between. So it's going to give you all that data and all that input to work on your golf game, which I feel is very, very important. So as you get a picture on what the HackMotion will actually do for your golf game, it's a really, really cool product. It's definitely something that I've been testing and using. Not as much as I should, in all honesty, because I need to be working on my golf game, but I've been so busy with what we do here on the channel that it's definitely something that's on my to-do list for 2024. I plan on coming in here hopefully a few hours a week and working on my swing to work on my wrist placement, because if you can lock in and dial in where you're at with your wrist, it's going to make the rest of your golf swing that much easier. So really cool feature. Again, wanted to kind of show you that. I also want to show you a few other things that's coming up next as well. Now, in addition, we do have a whole learning center on here as well in regards to how to wear the sensor, how to calibrate the sensor, as well as full swing tutorials that you can get on their website as well through the HackMotion app, understanding the data in the club face control mode, audio feedback and practice drills, different types of golf grips, everything that you're going to need. All of this is going to be at your disposal in regards to the product. So a really, really cool feature that you definitely will want to check out if you were to purchase the HackMotion product as well. And that's going to be directly in the application itself that you can access this. You also see in the application you have access to things like help, coaching videos, a learning center, as well as your different swing faults, ideas on how to fix it, different videos that you can check out in regards to how to fix different things with your golf swing also. Now here you see an example of a video in which they do what they call the motorcycle drill. So this fixes my problem with my swing, which will show you a little bit about more what to do with your wrist at the top of your backswing. So set up at address, slowly move to the top, you stay at the top, and then once you hit the position at the top, you want to make a full speed backswing, hit the range at the top, make a shot, hit the range at the top. So these are all different challenges that you would have in regards to fixing your position. So you can start drill practice, for example. It'll show you your club, you're going to hit start, and you can check your 3D model to make sure that it matches up. So it does have a full 3D model that'll show you what your wrist is doing in relation to where you have it on and where you're at with your actual address and everything. So I'm going to start the drill, and this is one that's called Feel the Correct Position. And I think I'll show you this on video just so you can kind of see. We're going to set up at address. We're going to swing it to the top and move your wrist in the range. So it's going to show the range on the actual monitor itself. All right, so now I'm set up here. I'm going to get into my position, and you hear the audio noise. So now I'm going to go ahead and line up my swing. I'm going to take it to my backswing. And as I turn my wrist, you hear that noise? That's where I want my wrist to be on my backswing. And then you would come back down. So it's going to show it on the actual screen. I'm going to do it one more time. Too far. There we go. Right there. So that's where I want it to be. So you're going to be able to get the feel for it as you do your backswing, as you take it down. You do everything that you need to do. Really cool stuff. So that's what I need to work on, is where my wrists are placed on the top of my backswing, coming back and making sure that I'm not rotating my wrist too much. And I can see it visually on the screen too. So I want to be right there. So my problem is I'm more like this or I'm more like this, but I need to have the right placement with where I want to be right here with my swing. All right, so before we get into the final part of the video, what I want to show you a little bit more about the HackMotion, using that with something like a launch monitor. I want to kind of jump into a little bit more on the pricing and the different options that you'll have when selecting the actual device. Now the device itself is the same across the board. So you could always start with the beginner setup and then always advance your way through it if you needed to. But let me take you to the screen, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about the pricing here as well. All right, so here on the screen, we're going to see the three options in regards to the HackMotion product, and we're going to start with the core. The core is going to be the very first program that I walked you guys through in regards to where it shows your actual wrist at address, your wrist at the top, and your wrist at impact. So that comes with the device, with the core product, and that will run $295. The Plus is going to also include putting in addition to that, so you'll be able to work on your putting game as well, and that's going to allow you to work on pretty much your entire game that way, and that's going to run $495 total to unlock everything. This is obviously a lifetime unlock on it. And then lastly, they're going to have what's called the Pro, and I'm going to take you into some of the Pro data here in just a few minutes to show you a little bit more about the Pro side of things, but you're also going to get what they call a full data mode, so it's going to dive into a lot more features than just that consistency mode would have, as far as where you're at with certain things with your swing. It will also include the putting mode and the consistency mode, and that will run $995 total for the device and the software that comes with it altogether. So again, you could always start essentially with the core and work your way up. If you want to unlock all the features up front, you'd want to start with the Pro. I think that's going to be your best bet in that situation. And if you don't need all the full data and you just want to have some putting, you could always do that middle product as well, which is the Plus mode for $495. And as I always try to do, I was able in this case to negotiate a special discount for the viewers of our channel. So make sure you go through our link, which is www.hackmotion.com/GarageGolf. There will be a special coupon code applied at checkout that's going to save you some money on that as well. Now, real quickly, we're going to finish up by showing you some of the Pro features in regards to the actual HackMotion product. And I'm also going to be using that continuously with the launch monitor that you see behind me. And what you see behind me is Unicore View. It's like a driving range. It's going to show you all the data that you need to be able to see. But I want to show you how you can not only be able to see your wrist movement and what you're doing with your swing, but you're also going to be able to see how that affects your ball flight as well when you do a combo like this. So let's check that out also. By the way, not sure if you can hear it or not, but it is pouring cats and dogs outside. So if you hear that in the video, that's what you're hearing. I'm in Florida now. It rains almost every single day here, something that we deal with. That's why you need to get yourself a golf simulator. All right, so what I'm going to do is take a couple of shots, just 2 or 3 here with my 7-iron, and I'm going to show you a little bit more on the screen as far as what you will see with some of the advanced features versus just the consistency mode. And I'm also going to let you see the ball flight and see what we do in relation to that as well, kind of what we've been doing. So let's go ahead and jump into that, but we're going to show you those Pro features as well as we go here. Good strike there. So that is my 7-iron. I tend to hit that between 150 and 160 carry, and 164 total. And let's show you on the screen now as well what we're seeing with the actual data on the Pro version. So again, you're getting the address, you're getting the top, and you're getting the impact. And you see the numbers moving because my wrist is moving now. So then we have ulnar and radial deviation, -24, -3, and an impact -31. So we're getting a little bit more from flexion and extension to ulnar and radial deviation. So we get a total score in this case of +70 degrees, +47 from the top, and for speed, 1740 degrees per second. We also show the backswing timing at 1.20, my downswing at 0.42, and a back down ratio of 2.9. So there will be somewhere in the app where we can see what obviously primary or what the numbers should be in regards to what we're looking at, which is a really cool feature. Let's take one more shot and then I'll see if we can show you a little bit more of that data. So obviously I got to work on stuff with my swing, but I do like the results of what I see. I had a nice draw on that shot, it had a nice carry. So you can see how you can get a little bit of benefit of both, right? You're going to be able to work on your swing and know what you need to do with your wrist, but you're also going to be able to see your ball flight. So working with a launch monitor, even if you have a launch monitor now, getting something like the HackMotion can only benefit and improve that experience in my opinion. Let's take another shot. Another nice strike there, a little bit lower. In this case, 138.3, still a draw. Let's see what our numbers look like. So in this case, I was +31, +38 at the top, and +33 at impact. And we got -30, -3, -32, so a total of +75, +27. This time my speed was a lot lower, 946 degrees per second. Backswing 1.17, so my backswing was also slower. Downswing 0.38, that was also slower. And my back to down ratio also came down a bit. So let's take a look at these numbers in more detail now. And I will preface this that for me as an everyday average golfer, I don't know if I would need all this data necessarily. For someone who is really, really established and working on their game and knowing what these numbers will ultimately do for their swing, you know, if I start fine-tuning my swing enough to a point where I'm really, really happy with what I'm seeing, but I'm needing to keep that consistency, then I think something like this would be a really nice feature to take a look at and to also have. But I think a lot of people maybe would be okay with like something in the middle tier or the lower tier just to give them the data that they need. But that's the whole thing about this device, is that you literally can start at the entry level and work your way up from there if you wanted to then jump into more data and more detail. One other thing you could do on the Pro mode, because you're still getting that ulnar number as well, that negative number that we're seeing on the right, is that you could leave this one up as well. So this could just be all the data that you need with the Pro mode, and it has your extension and your flex as well as your ulnar and radial numbers that you're going to be seeing, or your ulnar radial number. And if we look, we could also see that in 3D. So they'll show you your actual hand, what it's doing in 3D, which is really, really cool. So, I mean, this is the future of golf technology. You know, this is where we're going to be in the future with probably at some point down the road, to be honest, your entire body. And some of this already exists now, but very, very costly. This device gives you a fraction of that, but gives you what you need to work on your game without really costing you an arm and a leg, literally, or in this case, a hand and a leg. So pretty cool device, though. I'm really, really impressed with it as far as what it shows you and how that will help you work on your game. And we talked about the full swing and the metrics, and some of that even being a little over my head, for example. If we were to go under the tips here under full swing, we talk about flexion and extension, as well as radial and ulnar deviation. This is a Pro feature. So it is called either cocking and uncocking, which is an important source of power in the swing. So you can click on that and it shows you in regards to what that is exactly, as well as what supination and pronation would be in regards to your golf swing, and then tempo and where you want that. The best golfers usually aim for a 3-to-1 tempo. So it gives you all the data, but it also walks you through how to decipher that data, which I feel is really important. So like I said, while initially the Pro mode may be a little bit over what I might need right now, as you continue to work on your game and you go into your data and you check it and you want to know exactly what you're doing, you know, the ability to have access to those features down the road is really, really nice, to be able to see what exactly it was that you were doing with those numbers and what those numbers ultimately should be in regards to helping you work on your golf game. So that's also a really cool feature. And again, doubling this up with an actual launch monitor that's going to show you ball flight on top of that. I mean, and it doesn't have to be super expensive. There's launch monitors like a Garmin R10, for example, that start right up at $599. And if you were to get something like, you know, the mid-tier level of the HackMotion and a launch monitor, you can literally start, you know, somewhere right around the $1,000 mark. So if you have any questions on anything, reach out to me again, Roland at My Garage Golf, and I'll be happy to walk you through some of this, as well as my experience with a HackMotion device. I've had it for quite a while. Again, I need to get more on working on my golf game. I have not been doing that since I moved here to Florida. It's definitely something I need to work on a bit, as you can see from my swings, of course. But it's definitely something that I enjoy doing, and it's something I look forward to continuing to use in the future. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video on the HackMotion. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions, reach out to me, Roland at mygaragegolf.com. As always, if you need anything, make sure you check out our website too. We got a lot of cool tips and tools on there, mygaragegolf.com, as well as all the vendor partners that we work with, including HackMotion. So I'd love to show you some more, but again, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me directly, because I will set up a call with you. We can walk you through any questions you have before you make any purchases. Make sure to use our link, though. If you do make a purchase, it's going to save you money, so that's really important. It does help us out, of course. No additional cost to you, and in addition to that, most important to me, you're saving some money at home. So I'd love to be here to answer any other questions that you have. I'm going to continue to use this device. You'll probably see it on more videos in the future as well. But if you have anything at all that I can do for you, reach out to me anytime. As always, until the next time, keep on golfing. Make sure you keep the HackMotion on your list for the golf lover in your life. I think that would be a really, really cool product. And you know, it doesn't have to be the top end model. You can always start off with the lower end model and work your way up if needed. So I'm looking forward to helping you guys. As always, until the next time, keep on golfing, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.